Yes. All right. So now I guess we can officially open everything. Welcome everyone here. Um, we are following the CNCF Code of Conduct that you see in our documents. We respect everyone. We're kind to each other, mutual respect. Now we'll open the floor and issues. We are recording, first of all. So just keep everyone honest, and this might go around the world. So I'm Rob Koch. um, I'm the co-chair of the CNCF Deaf and Hard of Hearing Working Group, and Destiny couldn't make it today, so I am hosting in her stead and taking care of all of the rest of that. So we've okay, who's here first of all? And the agenda for today, any new faces we need to welcome. Emmanuel, of course, is here, but she's not a new face. She comes in on and off. And Zeno Chin, hi, nice to see you again. Good to see everyone. Awesome. And so we have people from all over the globe here today, everyone. So Deaf Awareness Month. We're live streaming a bunch of content for that. And Anastasia, were you talking about that recently? Yes. I was a little distracted, but yeah, you just began really officially. So anyway, so I would add, because I'm just kind of all over the place, but I would add that, yes, it's Deaf Awareness Month. Milad is saying, yeah, we think of something, you can throw it in. I gotta check. Milad saying, meaning Monday, yesterday, Monday. I did a dry run, a practice session on for this Thursday, which will be an event here. And it's going to be a real challenge because there are two things that are going to really be a struggle, I think. We don't have interpreters. So that's going to be something I have to do for the first time. Let's see. Well, I mean, how do I say this? I'm working with someone who can't hear but relies on captions. So, I'm not sure to understand how to communicate best, but so we'll have to have a private chat as well as open communication. So it probably won't be very easy to get it done, but it's a great group. I'm glad to be there to support everyone with accessibility needs, for sign or not. And, it'll work. It'll just be a challenge. But I think after about 10 minutes, then the other person will join us, and we'll be asking, what help is needed at that time, and we'll offer whatever assistance is required. And we'll be explaining about the platform and everything that we're going to be talking about. So when we're done having that technical talk and then we leave, then it'll be more of like I guess, a deaf sharing event. And there'll be 3 different groups involved. And I don't think it'll be perfectly smooth. It will have some issues. And, I expect the video won't be great. The technology won't be great because our internet connection isn't wonderful. So I think we'll probably, I don't know if we'll have problems with the platform, but we're just going, if you can share your experiences with hosting something like that, I would appreciate any thoughts you might have on the matter. Yesterday I was on a platform trying to have a discussion and our meeting, and it wasn't great. We had a lot of freezing and the caption wasn't fantastic either. So I agree, it can be very challenging doing it remotely. And Milad is saying, okay, let me ask you something else. So when you see some people and you see the same people, their cameras are freezing, I mean, is it mostly Yeah, are you seeing it from specific people or the whole platform? Some had frozen and some were more serious than others, so it varied. Do you had, hey, Anastasia? Yeah, I think what Milad is saying is something we've all experienced. And when you advertise it and you put it on social media, and it's Deaf Awareness Month, and we put it out there, and we start in LinkedIn, and maybe some people see our content, and that's really great. And then I have other people who have, seen some of the content for Deaf Awareness Month and then contacted me privately to ask more questions. And it has brought to my mind that we need to do more about deaf awareness kind of issues, and because people just don't know. And let me see, there was something else. I think that was it for me for right now. Okay, and Milad is saying, Anastasia, I was talking about like yesterday, I had an experience. No, I don't have anything to add to your experience with your workshop and what you're talking about. But for September, this Thursday, I was thinking, how do I improve the experience for accessibility, for meeting people's needs, and hoping the platform works well for us to host the meeting. I didn't just know if you had anything to add on that, Anastasia. Yeah. What do you think? Okay, so yeah, everybody's screen moved when. All right, so yes, I'm going to host an event, a live event, and there'll be some over a platform as well, on a virtual platform. And I'm just trying to make it as smooth as possible, because the chat will be, I'm not sure the chat will be great. And I'm not sure keeping the chat on will be wonderful for the presentation anyway, because it'll be very intrusive as it interrupts all the time with people asking questions. So I'm not sure that'll work. Well, have people join before and wait. Have them come in and wait. And then Milad, tell everyone what you're planning to do it, and maybe use Slack. But I think that's the only way. You just have to do it how you can do it. I don't know if there's a perfect way to do it. And the interpreters. Oh, okay. There will be interpreters. Yeah, I think Catherine said for that other meeting we're talking about. Catherine, did you want to add and talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I think the CNCF will take care of that, but I wanted to say something regarding the flow. So I think we do have several groups, and I think we need to be like kind of meet in the Slack channel, because not everyone can be backstage, right? So there is a limit on how many people can be in the platform. And so we're going to have several groups, and the first group needs to be backstage, and then I don't know, one of you should put them on. You have to decide who will do that, because I remember one time you were doing it at the same time and people were on and off. So you bring them on stage, and then whenever the next group should come in, you have to let them know as well to log in. So I think we need to communicate over Slack, because we cannot all be on Restream. Restream does not have the capacity for that. And also I saw that there are like groups of, is it 3 right now? I would actually think that it's better to have bigger groups to make it more engaging.
Groups of 3.
So instead of, like having 3, because to make it more dynamic and more maybe engaging, like if you have like at least 4 people on each team, that would be ideal. Why not?
It's a big challenge. Yeah, maybe 4 in each group rather than 3. Yeah. 3 groups of 4.
Yeah. 3 seems a little
I don't really want more groups, Malad saying,
No, no, no,
because
not more groups. More people in each group. Fewer
Yeah.
groups and more people.
it's
Yeah,
still a
I
huge
agree with that.
challenge
I mean,
because from my point of view and my experience, just having a 2 or 3, I mean, if you get 4, it just gets really confusing. So that's just my personal experience and opinion. So, um, yeah. Well, if we're talking about deaf people signing, Rob is saying it's very distracting to have too many in the group because visually you can't keep track of that many people on a stage. Is that what you mean, Milad? Yes. Yes. Okay. Okay. And also, I feel like on the platform, it's not, well, also we have an audience there who's going to be asking us questions, so it's not easy to navigate that. The more people you have, the more complicated it gets. I don't know. I mean, maybe we can change it up next year or in a couple of years, but keep it the same format we are talking about now for the core issues. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, it could work, but if we start adding and making it bigger, I mean, it may not be bad, but yeah, we can talk about that in the future, future platform events. Catherine, did you want to add again?
Yeah, so if it's only 3, there is a little bit more pressure on you to make it engage because it's engaging, right? Because it's like only 3 people on screen. When there's more, like there's, it just flows easier because there's more people to say something. So that's why I thought like more people could be more fun and dynamic. Because like sometimes you don't really know what to say, but like so, yeah. So because the idea is to make it like a conversation between all of you and see and encourage people to ask questions, right? So we don't know how many, you never know how many people are going to watch live because that's the wild card. So you have your questions, so that's great. But we should also ask the audience, right, if they have questions and prioritize those, right? I think there are different topics, so let the audience know this is the topic you're gonna cover. But do encourage them to ask questions, and you have to put the tab on and restream so you can actually see the questions from the audience. If no questions are coming, just go with your own questions, right? Like don't ignore, that. But I think we do want to engage with the audience, right? Because that's like a big opportunity there.
Right. Yeah, and also we want to recognize, acknowledge in the chat, we're talking about a limited to 10 or 15 minutes per presentation, meaning more people per stream. And it's harder to reduce that and keep it down to 10 or 15 minutes. And it's easier to do that if you just have a few people. And if you have the more people, it's on the stage, it's harder. It just takes more time to have more people. Plus, Milad's saying, some members here are relatively new to being on a platform. So, it takes time to get comfortable with that. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so is that a discussion do we want to vote or just do we want to say 3? Because I would, since Milad is running that platform, you're running that, right? And then Anastasia and Milad are running that. Yes. So I feel maybe we should defer to what Milad wants. And Anastasia, do you have thoughts, or are you good with what we had discussed before? I think Anastasia is looking at the chat. Anyway, that's fine. We've got other stuff to work on, other stuff to discuss. All right, moving on. So we can table that discussion, and maybe a year from now we can, or 2 years from now, we can change it up, but we'll just leave it like it is for right now. Yes, Milad. Okay, for the platform, one thing that is a challenge. If I have guests join, like backstage, I won't be able to really see them. I'll be the only one on stage because I'm hosting. and I'm kind of running it. So I'll be able to see everybody who's coming in, the entire platform of people who are coming in, but I won't be able to see the individuals won't be able to see each other in the backstage area. So I think it's going to be a little challenging from that regard. I did another one that was called StreamYard, and we had people on the stage, and we could all see one another. And so we could have that open conversation. It wasn't live, but we could really exchange information and have a real sharing conversational type presentation. But I'm not sure that's how it's going to be here. I would like it to be that way, but I don't know. Alfonso, did you have something to say? Yeah, I like that. On the Linux stage, we were talking about that. The lightning talks when we had interpreters, and the interpreters can see us. But I don't know how that will work with the interpreters. I don't really understand what you mean. For example, having the interpreter a live interpreter on a screen, and you can see the interpreter, everyone can see the interpreter. Oh yeah, there'll be live interpreters. There'll be live interpreters. Oh, okay, okay. So if it's, yeah, if they're very far away, they couldn't interpret for us. They couldn't voice what we're saying. So, I mean, certainly cameras can be turned off if you prefer. But yeah, we'll have ours on and the interpreter will have theirs on so we can all see each other for sure. So yeah, but yeah, cameras will be on for that, I think. Okay. I guess we'll test it out before and make sure it's working and do prior testing, right? Yes. Yes, we will. Okay, so we'll leave it with 3 groups or 4 groups of 3, right? Or 3 groups of 3. I think for now it's not enough people, so we'll do the 3 groups of 3. And the 4th group, maybe, we'll see. It depends on people. It depends on who's available, how we can put people and move people around. Catherine.
So Rob, are you confirmed 100%?
Yeah.
Oh, great, great. And Emmanuel, you are still maybe, right? Because you're at the conference.
Now I'm discuss with Anastasia and Antonio 10-15 minutes in
Okay.
10 p.m. I saw we must hear all the time, but it's just 10 or 15 minutes. It's so important for me. I can't find a room for this time, so I can participate.
Awesome. So yeah, because otherwise, yeah, if it's just 2, that might be a little too little. So just wanted to make sure that we don't get last minutes.
Yes,
And
I talked with Anastasia.
Okay, great, great, great. Just wanted to make sure. I'm glad you're all on top of it, I see.
Thank you, Anastasia Singh. So if after the live stream is over, I'm saying maybe it's going to be about an hour. Can we get some of the good clips from that, and then I can make a video that we can share out on on the socials. I mean, we don't have to, but I would like to. So if that would be okay, if we could take clips from that and make a video. Okay, are we done with that? Can we move on? Are we good? Okay, everybody's good. All right. we'll see. We'll do 3 groups of 3 for now and then table it and see. And good luck running the show on Thursday, Milad. Okay. Did somebody else want to say something? Okay. Somebody popped up. All right. Anyway, moving on. Next topic.
Milad is saying somebody with an H was not able to join. I'm not sure what's going on. Sandeep, can you share your experience with Hazel? No response, so go ahead, Rob. This is Rob. Let's talk about Hazel later. So regarding Deaf Awareness Month and the social media campaign, what are you thinking? Is it going well?
From my side, well, Anastasia's saying, and Emmanuel's thumbs up, Milad's thumbs up.
All right, I appreciate that energy. And Crispin, do you have any opinions about that, pro or con? Jay, what about you? Jay, did you want to say something? This is Jay. I'm wondering if I could, if there was an available slot. If not, that's fine. Great, I'll share everything. All's good. This is Rob. Anybody else? So what worked with that social media campaign? What do you think worked? Catherine?
No, I just wanted to say we do have still availabilities, Jay. So, I mean, if you don't want to, or you're not like totally keen on doing that, that's fine. But our goal was to have at least 2 posts per week. So yeah, we could do 1 each day. We can flood the internet. So whatever you want.
Yeah, we wanted 2 or more, but you would be the 3rd, which means more the merrier. Please do, Jay. Jay saying okay. September 30th at 11:59 p.m. Feel free to post. Jay said, okay, well, everybody's up at that time. This is Rob. So what worked? What didn't work? I'd like to hear your opinions. You have some advice, or what should we do next year? Any words of advice? We want to be ready with our social media campaign a month or 2 ahead of time. AJ, you had your hand up?
Yes, I'm not very social media savvy, and I went sort of in the beginning of the month. And posts after mine, I noticed people were tagging each other, and I think that really helped a lot, because not only do your network see it, then everyone else's network see it. And I didn't know that about social media. And so maybe if we have a list of everyone's social media handles or names, or we connect with each other and make sure that we can link to each other's posts, I think that really worked well on the subsequent posts after mine. And I did like the cards that Catherine made, because those visuals really, you know, the ROI on, or the return on investment on visuals. People click more on visuals than they do without posts with visuals. So thank you for making those media cards.
Sure. And I think like Emmanuel was the one who started tagging. And I was like, oh, shoot. So that was actually a good idea. We didn't say that, but like we were always posting in our channel so people can share, which we should still do, but we should also, we should definitely also tag people. So you get to know when there are comments and everything, right? Otherwise you don't get any notifications. So good call, Emmanuel, and we'll learn for the future.
But it worked so well. Yeah, it was a lot sharing, a lot amount. So everyone can interact with my post, and I have a lot. This also about my post. We had 2,000 person to interact with my post. That was
Yeah, you had a lot of engagements and shares. I was like, you have a big network. I was like, wow, Emmanuel's post got the most engagement. So that was
I wanted to show the other story of what improve my network doesn't know you. So with the in is I can show what who you are, and now they know you are here.
absolutely.
Hi, this is Travis. I wanted to add something. It's beautiful what Amy June said. I plan to make a post of this after the live stream. I wanted to let you all know that I'm not a social media person myself. And I want to keep my LinkedIn organized. I had a headshot when I was looking for work, but when I got a job here at Convo, you know, I didn't really keep everything updated. But I didn't realize since I joined here that you all have been posting on LinkedIn. I didn't realize that because I don't check it every day. Really, I don't. I check Facebook every day because my family and friends are posting there.
You'll get to it, Milan saying you'll become a LinkedIn checker.
Yeah, I check Facebook because I'm, you know, fear of missing out, but I don't mean to ignore you all and I don't mean to ignore your posts. I just didn't realize. But I noticed that after y'all started posting this first CNCF post, now I see, oh, wow.
Welcome.
You know, what's the best approach with social media posts? How does that work? I wanted to ask the group if you wouldn't mind talking about it because I didn't repost on my accounts. And I don't want to read between the lines. I just want to be real clear on how to support use, how to support each other, to make sure the information is right, the approach is right, all of that. That's my comment.
Go ahead, Hazel.
So for social media, there are kind of three main things that you want in order to have sort of a lot of engagement. The first one is that the first sentence needs to be really, really high engagement so that people look at it and they see it. The second one is that you need to post semi-regularly or the algorithm will drop you off. It does sort of an exponential back off thing of it. It tries something, see if people likes it, and then slowly ramps up the attention over time as you post more regularly. If you are not a person who posts regularly, then the third thing is the most important one, which is when you post something, the first 30 minutes dictates really severely how well the post is going to do. So if someone with a high follow count or someone with a high engagement likes or comments or shares or interacts some way with the post in the first 5, 10, 30 minutes or so, the more people that do that, the more LinkedIn's going to say, or any social media algorithm is going to say, oh, this is getting traction. Let's spread it out. And so typically they do kind of like a first round and then a second round and then a third round, and then they start ramping up. And so if you can pass that kind of third round of people, you're going to get that ramp up. And that's where your really viral stuff is going to come from. So that's where, like on my posts, I can tell whether or not something's going to get more than 10,000 impressions in the first 30 minutes.
Yeah, I've seen that Hazelhead is really good at social media. Well, oh, by the way, so I have to share that post in our channel too. So Hazel will be speaking at CubeCrush. So I forgot, actually, we should all share that. For the lightning talk this time, I gave the talk to the new blind and visually impaired group, because like last time Sandeep had it. But yeah, so we have CubeCrush again. And I wanted to make sure as well to invite someone here. And Hazel has like a very technical and interesting background, so I'm very excited to hear her talk. But we should all help and yeah, get the word out. So I forgot to do that. I generally kind of do that when someone posts, to post that in our channel, because we're all supporting each other's talks, right? Oh, and I think yeah, Rob was gone, and it's like, but now you're back. I think are you right? We are, and I think we're at the sign language glossary update, unless anyone had something else to say about social media.
Nothing more about social media. That's Travis.
Okay.
This is Travis. Okay, now we're gonna talk about the glossary update. So 4 people came to the meeting last Thursday, and I think it was pretty productive. So we're hoping to come up with signs for 4 particular words, and we all agreed on these signs. So that was great. We made some good progress. Next time we'll meet on October 17th. And then the meeting in November may be canceled because a lot's going on in November. That's a crazy month for everybody. Also, we want to spend some time, spend more time on that. Oh, Rob? What's the plan of action in October? 4 more signs, is that right? Or 4 gestures? Yeah, we have 4. This is Travis. We need to finish the contributor and the guidelines. Rob is saying, have you put it in GitHub? I'm blocked from GitHub. I can't go in there. I can't take a look. I need volunteers to take a look, but there aren't enough volunteers because Destiny has been available, but I'm not. We keep I keep postponing my test for the CACD. You know, each test costs some money, and we have to, that license is going to expire at the end of November. So I need to focus on that. So I'm asking for you all to help me out.
Rob's saying, sure, yes, absolutely.
Right. Okay, great. Yeah,
Yes.
I need some help.
Yeah, we will help you for sure. And we'll upload some videos. You tell us what to do, where you want it, and that's it. You tell us what you want us to do and we'll get it taken care of, okay?
You know, you can always ask me because what's important is to follow. We have it in Canvas. Follow all the steps.
Canvas, okay.
We can't record right now, so we're collecting signs at this point, but I really want to finish that.
Awesome, terrific, thank you. Okay. Any other questions, complaints about that?
This is Milad. I have a question about is that glossary?
Glossary. Mhm.
Thank you. My experience.
Oh, sorry, I was gonna recognize Sandeep, but I didn't realize Milad was talking.
If I remember right, we had 4 people. At the beginning, they would choose a word. or they would choose 4. And my perspective, the thinking and the discussion about the signs was really challenging. They took a lot of time. So I think before the meeting begins, first choose the words 2 or 3 days beforehand and share it with them so they can think about it ahead of time. So the meeting itself will flow a little faster. That's my 2 cents. This is Travis. That's a great idea. I mean, we did assign each person with 3 words, or should we do it that way? This is Milad. Whoever's responsible for hosting, say, you remind them our meeting is coming up. Please look at the glossary channel and pick some words. And when you meet on the platform, then the words have been chosen. I think the discussion will be easier. Travis is saying, sure, we can talk about it in the Slack channel. That's a good idea.
Okay. Any other additions to that topic? Okay, Milad, you still have your hand up? Oh.
Oh, whoops, I'll
Okay.
take it down.
All right. Okay. Thank you, everybody. Sandeep, over to you. Waiting on the captioning to catch up.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, I was replying to Catherine. Uh, so I think I just wanted to wish everyone a happy, belated happy IDSL Day. So did any of you have any celebrations yesterday? About the International Day of Sign Languages?
Awesome. Thanks. Yes.
Okay, and the second,
Other celebrations?
thing that I have is that the Spotlight article that I was writing is almost finished. So I think you can see it here in the link here. Okay? In the link here, you can read the article. But apparently it is blocked from publishing because of some bureaucracy.
Yeah.
So usually what the reviewer is saying is that this should be on the CNCF blog. But the CNCF is, yes, thank you, Emmanuel. Thank you for putting in the chat. So what, you see the CNCF is already publishing a lot of articles about us, videos about us. So the folks at CNCF are really inclusive. But the aim of this article was to put it in the Kubernetes website blog and in the contributor site, so that actually we have a chance to build a rapport with more contributors, with more developers who are actually working in Kubernetes. But it seems to stuck a roadblock because the primary reviewer is saying that this should not be on the Kubernetes website. So I think we have to find a common ground and see how to take it further. So I'm talking with Catherine, and I'm also talking with the contributor experience team on how to take it further.
Yeah, I think that the whole issue was that the reviewer didn't know your connection to the team and didn't know that it was a team effort. So he just thought that you submitted something like a random blog post from someone who was not connected to any Kubernetes group. So I think once we add that, like what your role is and how actually groups like these can help or can be like a source for new contributors and maintainers, because you're kind of like bringing people into the ecosystem, as long as that link is made, they said it's gonna be good for the blog post. So I think it's just like he didn't know, and then we just need to make that little connection. And once that connection is made, then it's like, so that's what was missing. But I think it's just gonna be late, because I think it was supposed to be published yesterday, right? So that was the goal. So we're not going to meet that, but I don't think, it doesn't sound like it's a stop. We just have to make those adjustments about you and the role you play in that Kubernetes group.
Yes, thank you, Catherine. So I think you gave a short feedback. I'll work on incorporating the feedback. And I think the
Great.
reviewer has also given me a bunch of other review comments as well. So I have to work on those as well. So I
Oh.
think maybe by tomorrow or something, I'm trying to hit it again and see if we have any luck.
Yeah. I know it's a little frustrating when you think something is almost done, you think like it's ready to be published, and then someone says something and you need to make adjustments. It's a little frustrating, but we're almost there. So it's like it happens all the time, especially in open source. So it will be published. It will be published. Don't worry about it, because I know you put a lot of effort in it. So
Thank you, thank you. And just I just wanted to say, like, Emmanuel, would your friend like to introduce himself?
Hi everyone, my name is Alexandre. You can call me Alex if it's easier. And I'm Emmanuel friend. I'm dev too, and I'm developer.
welcome. Welcome.
Welcome, welcome. This is Milad. Alex? I missed, are you hearing or deaf?
I'm deaf.
But you speak for yourself, okay?
Well, we've got a few deaf oral people, so
In you a lot of which sign which we communicate with when we talk and sometimes with sign language in French, but no, we didn't know about ISL, just French sign language.
yeah. That would be very confusing for our ASL interpreters. So thank you for speaking instead of just throwing French Sign Language at them. I'm sure they appreciate that.
Zeno Chen wanted to add and said in Vietnam, deaf people there and hard of hearing folks, sometimes the deaf people don't want the hard of hearing people involved. So the speaking group versus the signing group are very different. And there's a lot of separation between them. So it's nice that we have deaf and hard of hearing people working together here. Yes, yes. Showing the division between the deaf and hard of hearing people. So Vietnam is on the top, or you're talking about Vietnam, the country, as your arm, being represented by your whole arm. I see. Okay. Yes, Vietnam is, that's how we sign it, with the V, and then we talk about the northernmost part of Vietnam, I think, and then the southern part of Vietnam. And so we have different areas, and we use the arm as a visual representation of the country. So the deaf people are different in different areas of the country. The education system is different. And the deaf, yeah, deaf, exactly, is on the, it uses sign language more in the north. And we see some hard of hearing people there as well. I think that's interpreters hoping that's what was correct. There's a big cultural difference, Rob is saying, between the northern part and the southern part, is what you're saying. Yes, that is correct. Saigon or Ho Chi Minh City is Ho Chi Minh City is in the southern part versus Saigon in the north. And so there's a different cultural deafness and divide between the two. So very different culturally from the north to the south. And one country, but very different cultures. Got it. Okay. Thank you for telling us that, Milad, saying thank you for sharing. That's interesting. Okay. I'm trying to figure out, Sandeep, are you finished with your comments and what you wanted to say? Yeah, and you were talking about French Sign Language, LSF. That was interesting. Okay, so all right, moving on. KubeCon. Who is coming to KubeCon, Salt Lake City? I have not seen my confirmation yet. It's in progress, Milad is saying. So it's getting close, but I have not seen my confirmation. Okay, so most people are going, very exciting. So Catherine, will we have a booth like we did last time? A kiosk like we did last time? A booth?
Yes, we will do exactly the same stuff as last time, maybe more. As you know, I never let you rest. You're gonna be there and work. But it's gonna be fun. So a booth,
Right.
we're gonna do the open space discussion. I'm hoping to do the sign language crash course, like the whole, yeah, everything.
Great, wonderful. Okay, so that's great. So, all right, we will have the crash course, and that's really cool. And we did that before in Paris, and we had a lot of Germans. We had a lot of German folks show up. I don't know what it was about that, but they came in droves, and we had a lot of people very interested, and we had a lot of fun. It was a really casual, light atmosphere, a lot of joking, and so it was great. Catherine, you probably, did you want to add?
Oh yeah, because one thing that I forgot to mention. So this time the CNCF is doing a DEI hub. So they're doing other things too. And so our activities will be incorporated into that. And so I was suggesting there should be a DEI guide and like making more. So because like last time, a lot of people didn't know about activities. So yeah, I said like, let's just try and promote it a little bit better. But yeah, there's going to be this overarching theme, which is not only going to be focused on deaf and hard of hearing, but everything we do should be part of that and should be promoted within that, you know, email that they send. I was suggesting a blog post, a guide with all the activities so that people that are actually interested can see, don't miss like all the different things that we offer, because it's like it's just such a big conference. It's difficult for people to find it if you don't have like if you don't promote it accordingly.
Okay, so we got 7 minutes left. Best practices. We have already shared a few things about that. from last time. So we're going to have just a tremendous amount of stuff. I know, with a lot of stuff going on, and it'll be we'll have a lot of different talks, a lot of different meetings during the conference. But do you feel they will provide interpreters for what? How is the interpreting situation? Do we have some best practices for them, or some kind of link or open source that anyone can contribute? If you have information or thoughts to add on that, please do. Okay, so we definitely want to open that up for contribution. And so KubeCon, we need some standard best practices for, and AWS too, and different things like that. And
Microsoft.
oh, the Microsoft stuff too. Thank you. And yeah, Oracle and other conferences, so that they can understand how accessibility should be done in a conference format.
Question. Would that, so we do have the best practices for conferences that include include stuff about interpreters. Do you mean like improving that, adding to that, or do you mean like an additional best practice? Because like that's what we were sending conference organizers, and I'm sure it can improve, but I'm not sure what you had in mind, Rob.
We just need to, all of us, have a peek at it, review it, and tweak it if we need to. So, in the past year, what we've learned, any additions, deletions, etc. And the perspective of the conference, those people who hosted, and adding the perspective of reading and understanding, turn-offs, turn-ons on how to make it pleasant, how to make it nice, how to make it welcoming and accessible for everybody, just that kind of thing. Just get everybody's eyeballs on it and get everyone's take if they have an additional thought.
Also something that we should include, I think, if Andres, so Andres did suggest a setup to get captions on screen, which is with open source tools. So I sent that to the CNCF, and I hope they will implement it for KubeCon, because we darn need captions on screen, not on the app. But like, if that works, that should be part of the best practices, because we were always struggling and saying, what about all the KCDs? They don't have any budget. Local events don't have budget to pay like an expensive captioning tool. If we have a solution that works and is free, we need to promote that. And then there's no excuse for any conference not to add captions on screen if it can all be done with open source.
Right.
Yeah. So that is something that we should definitely include in the best practices, because that was always we didn't have an answer to that. I know that, yes, exactly, Milad, right? Like you're the KCD organizer in your town wanted to do captions. He didn't know, it was too expensive. So like, we didn't have an answer for him, but that would be one. And Rebecca, yes.
I would love to support that idea for open source captioning. I mean, it's truly important for all conferences to have that and to be aware of what their options are in that category, because a lot of people don't know how. They don't know, and time is running out, of course. So there's a lot of pressure. They get worried about it and they don't know what to do. So if we have things we can come up with, we can make some sort of document that we can provide them. And then like for video, that type of thing, or to show how step by step how easy it would be, or how to implement it, or what to do, that we could work together with them. And then it can be a simple thing we can email them to help them understand how to implement that kind of accessibility.
Yeah, I think, and maybe Andres, you can help with that, is creating doc where it's like a step-by-step guide, what you need to do, and then we use your nice graphics. I can share the Google Doc that I shared with the CNCF. It doesn't have any text yet, but then yeah, just create that and then publish it on our website. And in the best practices for the conference, we don't need to put a lot of stuff. It's like if you're looking for free or way of implementing captions, here's a link, here's a guide on how to do that, because we're not going to do all the explanations in that, but we should link to that. And I think it would be really good to make it really easy, like explain step by step how to do it. The easier we make it, the more likely it will be that they will implement it, right? Again, we need to help them help us, basically, right? So that's our goal.
Yeah, technology people, can do it easily, and to do the English editing to make it nice and easy, we can definitely help with that. But for the technology part, it would be awesome for that support to have all the facts. All right, time's up. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for coming. See you soon. Bye. Good meeting. We accomplished a lot. We covered a lot. Really appreciate your involvement and all your suggestions and all your inputs. So thank you very much. And see you Thursday, Milad. And see everybody soon. Bye.